Top of the morning to you. It's St. Paddy's Day. Okay, that was terrible. I'm sorry, I'll stop with that. St. Patrick's Day is here again. 1% of the beer that's consumed in the world is consumed on this day. It's the day where we go out and we get drunk. We have a big party. We eat some corned beef and cabbage, and then we enjoy a nice hangover the next day. Where did that tradition come from? Turns out that getting drunk and St. Patrick's Day have about as much to do with each other as the Easter Bunny does with Easter. And yet, somehow, they've become inextricably linked. I'll tell you how, coming up in just a minute. But first, one of my favorite movies to watch on St. Patrick's Day is The Quiet Man, directed by the great Irish-American filmmaker John Ford, who has been hailed one of the greatest filmmakers of all time. In fact, he was the very first American director to be awarded the Lifetime Achievement Award from the American Film Institute. But anyway, the reason I mention that is because in the latest episode of Batjac Profiles, I had a great conversation with Joseph Malum, who just recently completed a biography of John Ford. And man, he shares all kinds of facts about John Ford, his relationship with John Wayne, had a very rocky relationship at times. Plus, we got into a little bit of information about John Wayne and how he developed his on-screen style, and many, many more things. You got to check it out. It's available at the link below. Batjac Profiles with Joseph Malum. And now, Batjac presents St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day has always been an American holiday. Very little connection to Ireland. This St. Patrick fellow that we're commemorating on this day, he's not Irish. He's Welsh. In fact, the only connection he has to Ireland is that he was brought to Ireland as a slave. Also, his name isn't Patrick. His name is Maewyn Succat. But no one really wants to celebrate a day called St. Maewyn's Day. Patrick sounds better. And then if we name a day after him, it's just another reason to celebrate for the sake of celebrating. Why not, right? Well, let's break this down. While St. Patrick, or Maewyn, was a slave, his master taught him Christianity. He converted, later escaped, and went back to his home country of Wales, where he studied in a monastery for many years until he became a bishop. He then decided to return to Ireland as a missionary and teach Christianity to the Irish natives. Now, legend says that he taught the concept of the Trinity using a native Irish plant called a shamrock. Three-leaf clover as we know it. Many years later, during the Irish potato famine of 1845, there were Irish settlers who immigrated to America. And as it often goes with minority groups, they weren't very well received, treated very poorly, and they began to protest how they were treated. So, like any normal human beings, they threw a great big parade for themselves. They ate corned beef and cabbage, they got drunk, and they had a nice hangover the next day. And because we Americans are always up for a party, we joined in and adopted it as a yearly festival. Now, the question remains is, where did the green come from? Well, the color for St. Patrick's Day was originally blue. But green made more sense because it was one of the colors in the Irish flag. Plus, Ireland is often referred to as the Emerald Isle for its lush green landscape. Thanks to these Irish immigrants, we have a celebration in Chicago every year where the river is dyed green. So on St. Patrick's Day, we go green. Why do we celebrate St. Patrick's Day? Well, your guess is as good as mine.